Hello and welcome into the broadcast, everybody. My name is Samuel Reese, coming to you live across YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. And tonight we should have a good one as England faces off against Poland in match day 3 in Group I of the UEFA World Cup qualifiers. Let's get right to the starting lineups. First, for the host England, it is Nick Pope in goal. At the back, it's Kyle Walker, Harry Maguire, John Stones, and Ben Chilwell. In the middle, it's Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice, and Phil Foden. And then up top, it's the trio of Mason Mount, the captain, Harry Kane, as well as Raheem Sterling. Bjorn Koppers is the referee tonight from the Netherlands. It's an all-Dutch officiating crew. Meanwhile, the starting 11 for the visitors, Poland. It's Szczesny in goal as usual, a 3-4-3 formation. At the back, it's Helik, the captain, Glick, as well as the Southampton man, Bednarek. Then in the midfield, it's Rebus, Moder, Krakowiak, and Berezinski. And then up top, it's Zielinski, Piątek, and Swiderski. No Robert Lewandowski, you probably realize, and that is because he got injured in their last World Cup qualifier against Albania, and it's an injury that'll keep him out for a couple of weeks anyways. So not only does he miss tonight's World Cup qualifier for Poland, but he will also miss the big Bundesliga clash this weekend when Bayern faces Leipzig, and of course the two legs against PSG in that all-important quarterfinal in the Champions League for Bayern Munich. So we'll see how Poland deal with no Lewandowski tonight, and we'll see how Bayern Munich deal with no Lewandowski for the next few weeks when club action, I should say, returns this weekend. We're ready to go. The opening whistle is blown as the England set of players take a knee. And off we go. Underway at Wembley Stadium, which will be the host of both semifinals and the final for Euro 2020 this summer. The plan is to have 45,000 fans in attendance for those semifinals and final come July, which is about half of the capacity. Sadly, no fans in attendance at Wembley tonight, but just a month from now, there will be about 10,000 fans permitted for the two FA Cup semifinals. So we're definitely getting closer to having fans back at that historic stadium, Wembley. But no fans tonight. Gareth Southgate is the head coach of England. Paulo Sousa in charge of Poland. These two teams have been in the same World Cup qualifying group 7 times. That's a record. And so very familiar opponents. You could say even a rivalry has formed out of it. Group I action. England won their first 2 games in these qualifiers, 6 points atop the group, and then Poland sitting second in the group, 6 teams in each group. And Poland with 4 points, a win and a draw to kick off their 2022 World Cup qualifying campaign. The top team will automatically go to the World Cup in Qatar next winter, and then the second place teams will have to go through a playoff. An early foul called and a free kick on the way. It would have been great, to see 2 great strikers squaring off, Robert Lewandowski and Harry Kane, but unfortunately no Lewandowski, as I mentioned, as he suffered that injury against Albania at the weekend. And something we're getting used to now is the 3 games in one international break. Previously, there would be only 2, but with the congested calendar, there are 3 games pretty much each international break for these World Cup qualifiers. The World Cup qualifiers in Europe will pick back up after tonight in September. Of course, we've got the Euros this summer, and that will be the focal point once the club season comes to a close. Here is Kyle Walker on the ball. It's an England team with high expectations. They're actually the odds-on favorite to win the Euros this summer, which many would debate, but that is what the odds makers say. And it's been, disappointment after disappointment for this English side. They did make it to the semifinals of the World Cup in Russia back in 2018. That cross is cut out. Pulling the other way. No foul called. England win it cleanly, according to the official. Here's Kane. Now into Calvin Phillips. Now on the left-hand side, it's Ben Chilwell of Chelsea. He finds Mason Mount, his club teammate. Now Raheem Sterling has it taken away. Nicely done by Krakowiak. Here's Zielinski. And he will blast it off the leg of Mount to earn a Polish throw-in. Well, this group definitely has the potential to be interesting in Group I. I think England shouldn't have any difficulty winning the group. I think it'll ultimately come down to the battle for second place, which should be an intriguing one. When you look at this Group I for the UEFA World Cup qualifiers, some think England could be challenged at the top of the table. I don't see that. Remember, it's of course in this competition, it's 6 teams in each group, so you play each team twice, home and away, for a total of 10 games. The top team heads to the World Cup. Second place finisher plays in the qualifier. So yeah, just looking at this group, I think it'll ultimately come down to Poland and Hungary. It's really going to be interesting to see who gets that second spot. But as I said, I don't think England will have any trouble finishing atop this group. We shall see, though. Unable to get past the last line of defense was Piontek, who currently plays in the Bundesliga with Hertha Berlin. And Piontek has big shoes to fill with Lewandowski out. Krakowiak commits the foul. Ben Chilwell in possession. Now it's Harry Maguire of Manchester United. Obviously, this England team is entirely made up of Premier League players, as is usually the case. Walker loses it. Out for a Poland throw-in on the far side. Maciej Rybus will take it. One back by England. Kane battling for the ball on the ground. And he will win a free kick. It's quickly taken, but the referee will bring it back. Harry Kane trying to go with the quick restart, but the ball was a good 6 yards ahead of where the foul occurred. Walker finds Maguire. Yeah, this is unprecedented territory, playing in World Cup qualifiers before the European Championships. This never happens because, of course, the European Championships were supposed to take place last summer, but COVID postponed it by a year. The World Cup, obviously, not getting moved because it was originally scheduled for the winter of 2022, and there was no reason to move it. And so you have these World Cup qualifiers beginning before the Euros, which is just a bit strange, really. It's something we're not used to whatsoever. But that's the reality of the situation in these crazy times, as John Stones finds Kyle Walker. Walker gets it back. Now it's Declan Rice of West Ham. Some space here for Mason Mount. Mount out wide. Here's Raheem Sterling. Sterling to Mount. Mount cutting it onto his left foot. Plays in Ben Chilwell. Good cross. But it's headed over by Phil Foden. Couldn't quite time the jump properly. But that's definitely the best chance yet for England in the early stages. Great ball clipped in by Chilwell. And Foden was left wide open. Just a bit too high for him. And he didn't time the jump right. But Gareth Southgate applauding the effort nonetheless. It was a 7:45 local time kickoff in London, Wembley Stadium, where England play just about all of their home international games. Here come Poland with a chance, perhaps. Great ball swung in, but no one could get on the end of that delivery from Bereshinski. And now England clear. All the way back to the captain, Kamil Glick. Now it's Helik, back to Glick. Just under 10 minutes played. No score at Wembley. Here is Szczesny. Controlled nicely by Bereshinski. The through ball is dealt with by Nick Pope. He comes way out of his box to send it away. It's an interesting situation, the fight for the number one spot at the goalkeeper position for this English national team. You've got Nick Pope as well as Jordan Pickford, of course. As you can even put Dean Henderson's name in the mix. Henderson, who's now with Man United, formerly with Sheffield on loan. And Foden claiming he got pushed off the ball. Nothing called, and here come Poland. However, the flag is raised. Offsides. Was Piątek. There is no VAR in this competition. If you've been following these UEFA World Cup qualifiers during this international break, you'll be well aware of that. Obviously, there was a lot of controversy that stemmed from that Portugal-Serbia game over the weekend, in which Ronaldo appeared to have scored, but the official did not give it because, the assistant referee and the man in the middle did not see the full ball cross the line, but video evidence clearly showed that it did cross the line and that Portugal should have won that game. And why there is no VAR in this competition is a question that is easy to answer. It's all about the money, and it's no excuse whatsoever, but that's what it is. That's what it is at the end of the day. They're saving money. UEFA are. But for them to not have VAR implemented in a qualifying competition for the biggest tournament in the world is just mind-boggling. But that's what the situation is, as Chilwell seeks out Raheem Sterling. The header there won by Glick. Now it's cleared out for an England throw. Ben Chilwell will take the throw in for England. Gets it back for Mount. Mount for Declan Rice. Rice, who's had a solid season for West Ham. West Ham, who've had a pretty good season themselves in the Premier League, battling for a Champions League spot, perhaps, at least Europa League. Here is Sterling. Sterling to Chilwell. Now Maguire finds Rice. England very patient in the build-up play. And offsides is Phil Foden. Poland playing a high line. And it will be Szczesny to take the free kick for the Poles. 12 minutes in. No score at Wembley Stadium. Historic Wembley Stadium, where there are unfortunately no fans in attendance due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, that will change soon, starting with the FA Cup semifinals at Wembley next month, where we'll see 10,000 fans inside Wembley, which will be a welcome sight for any fans of the game. It's a nice first touch, and now into space it's Declan Rice. Out wide, Foden plays it into the middle. Ben Chilwell to Raheem Sterling. Sterling onto his right foot. Sterling curling one in. It's headed clear at the penalty spot, and a foul committed by England. Free kick on the way. Poland can take a breath. And that's going to be most likely the story all night for Poland. You know, it's going to be a lot of defending. A point would be huge for them without their main man, Robert Lewandowski, of course. Will be a free kick given here. Foul against Karol Swiderski. Chilwell into Mount. Mount gets it back from Raheem Sterling. Now it's Mason Mount. He finds John Stones. England with just about all of the possession so far in this one. As Stones will go back to Nick Pope, the Burnley goalkeeper, who could very well be on the move this summer, considering the way he's played. He's been spectacular. There's a reason he's the starter right now for England. Here is Mount. Mount for Chilwell. Sterling back to Mount. And here is Harry Maguire. 15 minutes played at Wembley Stadium. No score between England and Poland in this UEFA World Cup qualifying match. Match day 3 of 10. In these World Cup qualifiers, that will stretch all the way into the early months of 2022. That's lost by Piontek. And England once again going forward. Phillips for Foden. Now on the near side, it's Ben Chilwell. %77% of the possession has been with England so far. Burst of speed for Mount. He hits the brakes. Plays it into the byline. Chilwell gets there in time and will earn England their first corner kick. Yeah, Chilwell has been alive early on for this England team. And here comes the set piece. It'll be an in-swinging delivery from Calvin Phillips. Plays his club football with Leeds. Swung into the back post. Popped in the air. Brought back into the box. Clipped to the far post. And that will be chased down by Phillips. Foden curls one in. Once again, Poland clear. They've been solid defensively, working as a unit. Once again, they push up, playing a high line. Here's Harry Maguire. Maguire finds Chilwell. Foden back for Chilwell. And here now is Harry Maguire. Phillips gets the pass off in time. All the possession with the home side, unsurprisingly. This is what we expected coming into the match. Now here's Raheem Sterling. That's given away on the pass that was intended for Mason Mount. One back, though, by Sterling. Sterling driving forward for England. Here they come. Sterling all the way. Goes down, and a point to the spot by the referee. It'll be a penalty kick 18 minutes in, and it's an opportunity to pounce for England early on. Sterling just simply too quick. Eventually taken down by Helik. Helik was always taking a risk when he went down with the slide challenge. It looked like he tried to back out of it, but still clipped the back leg of Raheem Sterling, and it will be none other than Harry Kane who steps up to take this penalty kick for England. Can Kane break the deadlock? Yes, he can. Right down the middle, composed as you like. It's Harry Kane who's put England on top 1-0. And it's been routine for Harry Kane from the spot. And it's no different this time. Chesney diving to his right. Kane with a driven strike right up the middle. And Gareth Southgate pleased with the start to this game from his team. It's England 1, Poland 0, just under 20 minutes in. That's the second goal for Harry Kane in his second World Cup qualifying match over the course of this past week. And now we'll see how Poland respond. It's a nightmare start for them, meanwhile. This is all the way back with Chesney. A reminder that club football returns this weekend, and Saturday it's a big one at 12:30 Eastern Time in the Bundesliga when RB Leipzig takes on Bayern Munich in a match that could very well decide who wins the Bundesliga title this season. That should be a fantastic game. Certainly one to watch this weekend. There's some great games in the Premier League as well. It'll certainly be a welcoming return for club football as Maguire commits the foul. Free kick on the way for Poland as he took down Swiderski. This is a set piece in a dangerous area. If Poland have any hope of, getting a point out of this game at least, you have to think they do have to capitalize on one of these set pieces to have that chance, because in the run of play, they just don't have the threat that they possess with Robert Lewandowski there up top. And so here we go. It's swung in by Rebus, cleared by England. Now back with Rebus. Rebus with the cross and headed away to midfield by England. And now Poland will move it all the way back with Chesney. And that was last touched by England. Ben Chilwell clearly disagrees with the call, but it is a Poland throw and awarded. And it is Berdasinski who takes the throw. He gets the return pass from Swiderski. Now Krakowiak. 1-0 England lead. Here's Bednarek, who plays his club football in England with Southampton. Thanks, everyone, for being a part of this afternoon's broadcast on this Wednesday night in England. Here is Szczesny, who goes wide. Nice controlled header by Helik. Played into the middle by Bereszynski. Krakowiak onto his left foot. Gets it to the far side. Harry Kane's penalty kick, converted in the 19th minute, has England on top as they look to go 3 wins in 3 matches to kick off their World Cup qualifying campaign, and would certainly put them in the driver's seat of Group I early on in these qualifiers. But still a lot of football to be played here tonight. Maybe Poland posing a threat here. It's looped in, but easily dealt with by Chilwell. Now here's Harry Maguire, who will knock it out of bounds because there is an injured Polish player, and that is Piotr Zielinski. No more injuries up top can be afforded for Poland. They're already without their superstar Robert Lewandowski. Zielinski does appear to be all right, though, as Poland do have a throw-in, but Bereszynski, as a sign of sportsmanship, will throw it back to the England keeper, Nick Pope, since England were in possession before they intentionally played it out due to the injured Zielinski not getting up. But Zielinski able to continue, not requiring any medical attention. And so we carry on. Maguire back for Pope. Pope finds Maguire. And on that through ball down the sideline, a little push off from Mason Mount, worthy of a foul. We've got 20 minutes to play in the opening half from London, England, to the capital of the UK, at the historic Wembley Stadium, which holds 90,000 but has no fans in attendance tonight due to the COVID-19 pandemic, unfortunately, as Calvin Phillips is fouled. Free kick for England. Gareth Southgate relaying orders to his team, who leads by a 0-0. So here comes the England free kick. Or rather, the throw-in, excuse me. I don't know why I am blanking out on rather simple things. I apologize for that. I don't know why I feel pooped out right now. It's the afternoon, and I had a half day of school. I should be energized, but I don't know what it is. Maybe if we get another goal, I'll be waking up even more so. Here's Raheem Sterling. Is a second goal coming here? Sterling all the way in. Try to cut it across. The second attempt was going wide. It's cleared away by Poland. Did Sterling hold it a bit too long? He did have Foden as an option to his right. In the end, his pass was blocked. It landed right to Mount, who had his effort misfired. It looked like he came up limping at the end of the play. That ball played towards Foden. Out for an England throw-in after the slide tackle from Rebus. Remember, the next World Cup, 2022, a year from now, But it will take place in the winter months, which will definitely be strange. November and December is when the best competition, the best event in the sports world will be held due to the extreme heat during the summer in Qatar. Usually we are used to the World Cup taking place in the summer, but that will not be the case in this upcoming World Cup. A risky pass up the middle from Pope, but it's handled by Declan Rice, who finds John Stones. And that is a push from behind. Free kick given to England. Poland just seemed to be a bit frustrated that they can't, get possession of the ball and do anything at the moment, trailing by 1. Yeah, but going back to, that moment of perhaps some hesitancy, I suppose you could call it, from Pope. It was a driven pass right up the middle of the pitch. I don't know if Rice was intending to control that pass, but in the end, it went right off his foot, found John Stones. So that could have been a disaster for England, but in the end, it all worked out. Here is Sterling. Sterling has an open gap. Sterling still going through. Edge of the 6 goes down. It's a clean challenge. And now taken out of the box by Krychowiak. Once again, it appeared as though Sterling just kept it for a second or two too long. As Szczesny will play it out wide. The header is saved by Berezinski. And that will not be kept in play by Chilwell. It will be a Poland throw. 30 minutes in, 15 remaining. Yeah, once again, going back to that original chance for Sterling, I think he held on to the ball too long. He was looking for the perfect opportunity. He had his eyes across the pitch the whole time. But I don't know, I think he was trying to play it across in the end, but by that time, Poland had, the Poland defender had tracked back and was able to cut it out. And then on the last chance, I don't know, he should have took a crack at goal much sooner. He didn't even get a shot away in the end. Sterling finds Chilwell. 15 minutes to play as Declan Rice has it. Now wide for Chilwell. Sterling finds Kane. Laying it off to Mount. Edge of the box. What a nice pass. Back to Kane for number 2. It's a nice save made by Szczesny. Harry Kane on the brink of his second goal tonight. The captain of England. Menacing up top. And that will go out for an English throw. Let's go back to this chance. Wasn't a bad effort by Kane, but a solid save by Szczesny, the veteran keeper for Poland, who plays for Juventus, of course. It's been there for a while now. 31 minutes in to the opening half. Kane's penalty kick, the difference between the two sides. Total attempts 4-0 in favor of England. Poland have not even once posed a threat to Nick Pope. On the other side of things, England certainly have looked promising in the attacking third. Maybe not as many shots as they would have liked up to this point. They've had 2 shots on target, one of them finding the back of the net, and that was Harry Kane on the 19th minute penalty kick. Going wide is Phillips. Now to the byline. Walker sends one in to the head of Kane. It's punched away by Szczesny. And now at the edge of the box, it's fought for. Calvin Phillips trying to take it away, but Swiderski gets there for Poland. And now they'll look to spark a counter. But Maguire's there to come away with the steal. England right back in possession. Mount gets it back from Kyle Walker. Now Harry Kane into the middle with Phil Foden. Declan Rice now. A little over a dozen minutes to play in the opening half from Wembley. They'll switch fields. Controlled touch by Chilwell. He gets it back for a Mount, and the attempted cross is blocked. It is out for an English corner kick. This is a chance for the home side to double the lead. England with a perfect 6 points out of 6 possible points through 2 games. I'm looking to make that 9 out of 9. Oh, no, they say it deflected back off of Chilwell there. So it'll actually be ruled a goal kick for Poland. Interesting. England in their white kits tonight. Poland in their traditional red. That's headed out of play. It will be a Poland throw-in. The next World Cup qualifiers, the next match day in World Cup qualifiers for UEFA, I should say, not until September. So there'll be a long layoff until we see these UEFA World Cup qualifiers resume. Of course, in between that, we will have the European Championships. I look forward to calling plenty of those games. I am just super pumped for Euro 2020 this summer as Krychowiak is fouled. Following through on the challenge was Mason Mount. He clearly disagreed with the decision, but a free kick awarded nonetheless. Here is Glick, the captain. Long ball here. It's a nice looking one towards the corner flag. Getting there is Beresinski. Beresinski for Krychowiak. Krychowiak looking wide to the other side. It was stolen for a moment by Walker, but won back. And that pass towards Zielinski is cut out by Ben Chilwell. And England send it down the pitch. 10 minutes to play in the first half. Reminder that Serie A action continues when Bologna takes on Inter Milan. That's Saturday, 2:30 Eastern Time, 2:45 rather, immediately following the Leipzig-Bayern game. It's a great weekend of club football. You know, a lot of people criticize the international breaks. I don't mind them. I love international soccer personally. They're at least better with, World Cup qualifiers instead of, friendlies that we sometimes have during the international breaks. But I get why, fans who lean towards club soccer get annoyed by their international breaks. It can, ruin the rhythm of the season a bit, but it's sure to be an exciting weekend of European soccer, in Germany, Italy, and England. Across the continent, really. And I certainly love club soccer as well. There's no doubt about it. I've enjoyed calling a good amount of games. I think I've commentated games in the Premier League, Bundesliga, and MLS when it comes to club soccer so far for domestic competitions. Of course, that excludes, competitions I've called such as the UEFA Champions League, CONCACAF Champions League, Europa League. But I'm just talking about domestic competitions purely. I haven't called a Serie A match, which I would like to do. Just haven't been able to do one yet. But that will certainly be coming in the future. There's no doubt about it. As that's played out wide by Mount. Chilwell knew he was in an offside position, but no one else was in the area for England. So Chilwell ends up playing the ball, and it will be an offside call. Yeah, he was trying to tag back up and track back to get on sides, but Mount just delivering the pass too early. An easy decision for the assistant referee on the far side as we wind down here in this opening half of play from historic Wembley Stadium in London. Chilwell to Rice. Now back with Kyle Walker. Or rather, John Stones. Stones to Pope. And Pope to midfield. The header won by Moder of Poland. And nice bit of skill from Swiderski to win the throw-in for Poland. It will be taken by Beresinski. Just a huge blow, though, for this Polish team without their star man, Robert Lewandowski. They're still a solid team, but, sometimes you could argue they rely too much on him when it comes to their goal-scoring production. And we'll see if that's the case. We're seeing if that's the case tonight, I suppose. And just that lack of creativity, the lack of ability to have sustained possession has been a real issue for Poland really tonight. Bouncing ball here on the chase is Foden. But it is won back by Poland. 39 minutes in. Krakowiak, Zielinski. That pass towards the middle of the pitch is stolen by Declan Rice. Here's Raheem Sterling. Sterling going at the defender. Poor pass for Chilwell. And an easy steal by Beresinski. Closing in on the 40-minute mark. 1-0 England lead thanks to the 19th minute penalty kick converted by Harry Kane. Composed finish right down the middle. Chesney dove one way and Kane fooled him, going straight down the middle to put England on top. 2 wins out of 2 so far for England. Looking to make it 3 out of 3 to start this World Cup qualifying campaign. Krakowiak. Back to Glick. Now Moder will find Chesney all the way to midfield, and it's won back by England there. Rice for Phillips. 5 minutes to play in the opening half from Wembley. Here's Ben Chilwell now. Maguire sends it wide for Walker. And now back to the left side with Ben Chilwell. Here's Sterling. Mount in tight space. Has it stolen from behind by Zielinski. But that's been the story. It's won right back by England. That's been the case all night so far through the opening half of play. As Maguire plays it across the back. Walker to Stones, now all the way back with Nick Pope. Harry Kane goes down. Looks like he got hit in the head there. Clutching his head immediately after the referee quickly halts play. Obviously, they are told to take head injuries very serious. Yeah, they were both going up for that ball, and the head of Kane and Glick just collided, and Kane clearly got the worst of it, although Glick, whilst upright, is holding on to his head where he felt that collision. Kane does manage to get back to his feet, which is good to see. Here come a free kick for the Lions. Rice finds Chilwell. Foden. Now Sterling. Sterling onto his right foot, cutting back to his left, accelerating to the end line, pinballing through, and in the end, Poland managed to clear the box. Last touch by Maguire, and it will be a Poland throw-in. Sterling, an absolute nightmare to defend indeed. And he's showing why in this first half. Bereshinski for Swiderski. He loses it into the feet of Mason Mount. Here's Chilwell. Final moments of the opening half. England with a comfortable 1-0 lead. They've been in control from the get-go. Chilwell gets the return ball from Mason Mount. Now sent out wide on the far side. England seemed very, very content with just holding on to possession, knocking the ball around. You can't really blame them. Yes, they're only up by a goal, but they're in firm control of this game. And you can tell just that by the way they're playing. In comes Foden. He's tugged from behind. Foul called. Free kick awarded. It's a quick restart. Here's Mason Mount. Wide with Sterling. Sterling taking on Bereshinski. And his strike blocked. It was Helik who got in the way. It will be a corner kick, however. Maybe one last chance before the half comes to a close for England. As we await how much stoppage time there will be in this opening half of play. Here comes the in-swinger. Headed across by Maguire. Cleared away by Poland. No stoppage time necessary in these opening 45 minutes. That's it for the first half at Wembley Stadium. It's England 1, Poland 0. A game that certainly has been one-sided. Kane's 19th minute penalty kick converted has put the hosts on top. I'm back with the halftime report next. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime report, the European qualifiers for the 2022 FIFA World Cup underway. It's match day 3 out of 10, and it's England 1, Poland 0 in halftime of this game. A completely one-sided first half, really, from the start. And 18 minutes in, the penalty kick would be awarded. Sterling clipped by Hellick. And that's something you wanted to avoid if you're Poland, conceding an early penalty kick. So tough to defend Sterling, though, with his pace. And then who else but Harry Kane would step up, and he's done this thing before. A composed kick going right down the middle to put them on top 1-0. But how about action elsewhere in UEFA World Cup qualifying? Germany taking on North Macedonia. And in the first minute of first half stoppage time, it would be stunningly North Macedonia who would take the lead. Pandev, the absolute legend, putting it away. And how about that upset watch in Group J? 1-0, North Macedonia leading Germany at the break. Other games going on at halftime. Greece 0, Georgia 0. Northern Ireland, Bulgaria in a scoreless draw. Ukraine leading Kazakhstan 1-0. Spain up 2-0 on Kosovo. Lithuania and Italy 0-0. Moldova, Israel 1-1. Scotland leading the Faroe Islands 1-0. Austria, Denmark scoreless. So is San Marino, Albania. Hungary leading Andorra 1-0. And Iceland on top of Liechtenstein. All these games at the half, that score 2-0. So a plethora of European World Cup qualifiers going on as we speak. But the big talking point has to be that upset brewing between North Macedonia and Germany. Pandev, who spent just about his whole career in Serie A scoring for the Macedonians, they lead Germany 1-0. I'll keep you updated on that after the break. I'll get you set for the second half of this one between England and Poland. Stay tuned. Welcome back in, everybody. Obviously, the international break will come to a close at tonight's end, and this weekend, the focus will shift right back to club soccer. And what a big one Saturday in the Bundesliga at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be Leipzig against Bayern with huge title implications, to say the least. And of course, it'll be a Bayern Munich team without Robert Lewandowski. If Leipzig can get the win, then my oh my, that would make things very interesting heading into the final stretch of the season. A reminder of where those two teams stand on the table. Bayern's in first, 61 points. Leipzig 4 points back of Bayern on 57 points. So a Leipzig win would put them 1 point back of Bayern and certainly put the pressure on the defending champs, who seem to have made a habit of winning Bundesliga year after year. Could that end the season? We'll see. But you have to think that a Leipzig win would be the only thing that would give them hope of possibly catching ground and catching up to Bayern, who are 4 points clear of them at the moment. So a big game is an understatement when it comes to that Bundesliga clash this weekend between the top two sides in the league. A game very much to look forward to, and should be a great one Saturday afternoon. There's no doubt about that. Club soccer coming back with a bang, and that game should not disappoint. Usually the big Bundesliga games don't, but of course the big news is that Robert Lewandowski is set to miss 4 weeks with an injury he picked up with Poland in their last World Cup qualifier against Albania. And Lewandowski, a big part of this Poland team, they're suffering without him, trailing England 1-0 at the half. Second half kickoff is coming your way next on the other side of this break. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, we are ready to go for the second half of action. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into the broadcast. England, Poland, as we get ready to resume play. Looks like someone else is in here in the private chat. What's going on? Oh, it's FL Teams. It's Isaac. What's going on? Okay, I was confused at first. I'm like, someone's saying something through the private chat. What's going on? Thanks for stopping by. England 1, Poland 0, the score in this World Cup qualifier as we get set for the start of the second half. All right, see you. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. As both teams head out onto the pitch and we get ready for the second 45 minutes. So after that first half, you can probably expect more of the same, although we shall see about that. England leading by a goal, and here we go for the final 45 minutes of play. So it'll be Poland in the second half kicking things off, going from right to left. England from left to right as both teams switch sides, and off we go. Match day 3 of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers in Europe. Second half getting started. England up by a goal thanks to the Harry Kane penalty kick in minute 19. That's out for a Poland throwing on the far side. See if Poland in these first 5 minutes or so of the second half, we'll see if they can get something going and at least have more of the possession and then hopefully create some chances as a result at the other end of the pitch. Oh, that's a steal in the middle. And Kane is clipped from behind by Milik, who just came into the game, by the way, as a substitute for Poland, and he'll get booked. So 35 seconds or so after coming into the game. Milik receives a yellow card. First booking of the game. Catching Kane on what appeared to be the right ankle. Well, that's not quite the type of impact Milik wanted to make coming off the bench immediately. But he is certainly a player who can help your team off the bench, and we'll see if he can do that in the second half for Poland. Milik did replace Swiderski. So Swiderski was the one who came off. Here come England. Played back by Phil Foden. In swinging ball to the back post, but Walker couldn't seek out a teammate, and that will head out for a Poland throw-in. Sterling, that ball given away. Heavy challenge. No foul against England as they win it back. The Polish players expressing their frustration with the no call, but we play on. Early stages of the second half. And there's a foul called against Glick, the captain, taking down Mason Mount. Free kick in a promising position for England. So here comes the set piece. 2 on the Poland wall. They're sitting back deep right at the edge of the 6. And in the end, it's a awkward ball in from Foden. I assume he was trying to cross this, but it had too much pace. Yeah, that was interesting. So that chance goes to waste for England. Goal kick for Poland. 4 minutes played in the second half. And here comes the goal kick from Szczesny. It's won back by England. Now streaking forward, it's Ben Chilwell. Chilwell has it taken away, and Poland quickly at the other end, starting to have more of the possession and perhaps create a chance. Here's the cross in, but nobody there at the back post. It's right into the capable hands of Nick Pope. As I mentioned at the half, a ton of other games going on, about a dozen games taking place simultaneously across Europe in the World Cup qualifiers. Of course, the big storyline is that Germany currently trail North Macedonia 1-0. North Macedonia, by the way, who qualified for their first ever European Championships. And they will be one of the 24 countries playing in the Euros this summer. Here's Foden. Walker, his club teammate, now back into the feet of Calvin Phillips. Phillips goes down. Nothing called. Phillips lunges in to knock it away, but Poland to retain possession. Here's Moder. Now Zielinski. And a foul is called on the play. Down in a bit of agony is Phillips. Let's see what happened here. Oh, yeah. I mean, nothing intentional from Zielinski, but Zielinski followed through and went right into the back of into the calf of Phillips. That one hurts, and somehow is a foul against Phillips. I don't know how that is, but out wide. Here is Rebus. Rebus with a cross to the penalty spot. A bouncing ball eventually sent away by England. And tracking back and getting there for Poland is Jan Bednarek. This is into Milik. The advantage given to Poland. They retain possession. Here's Zielinski. Zielinski finds the feet of Milik, the sub, but Milik has it stripped away. The steal there by Phil Foden. Oh, it's a lovely turn by Kane, but the touch was too far ahead, and it's blasted the other way. Right to Nick Pope, who will roll it out for the right back, Kyle Walker. Pope will send this one well across midfield. It'll be headed back by Bednarek. Here is Szczesny. Hasn't been a horrible start to the second half by any means for Poland. That's for sure. For sure, excuse me. Bednarek for Glick. 1-0, England by a goal. In a bit of trouble here for Pope, who stumbles and eventually goes down. It will be a foul against Piontek, who was doing everything he could to get around Pope and get to that ball. Stones was waiting for Pope to come onto it, and then Piontek was troubling Pope, but eventually did commit the foul. Free kick for England. Another change made by Poland. It will be Helik coming off. So that's the second substitution for Poland this half. And he's replaced by Yujing. Helik, who's making way, was the one who gave away that penalty in the first half. So yeah, it's Yuzviak who's come on. Look at the live standings in Group I. If this result holds, England will go to 9 points. And Poland would stay on 4. And they showed the live standings briefly, but they would be leapfrogged based on other scores elsewhere in Group I right now. So that's what makes this game all the more important for Poland, as they will be competing for that second spot, most likely to earn a spot in that playoff round. Let's see here. Look at the live table. Yeah, it's Hungary. Hungary would go to 7 points. They are currently on top of Andorra. 2-0 the score in that game. So Hungary would go 3 points clear of Poland if this result stood. And Poland would drop to 3rd in the table. 10 minutes played in the second half. A free kick on the way for England. Header won by Krakowiak. Once again, maybe Poland with an opportunity on the way. Moder to Rebus. Now Bednarek finds Glick. That's a poor pass across the field. That was nowhere near finding Bednarek. A throw-in on the way for England, who still lead by a goal. It hasn't been a game where there's been much to discuss, other than England getting the job done so far, but certainly not securing the 3 points just yet. Poland very much still in this game without Lewandowski. Pope finds Stones. Stones gives it away in a bad area, and here's maybe the equalizer. Yes, indeed. It's Poland who capitalized off the John Stones mistake, and there to put it away is Jakub Moder. It's 1-1 at Wembley Stadium, and how about that for a surprise opening quarter hour to the second half? Well, that's all it takes, a little lapse, and that's what exactly happened to Stones. The pressure from Poland and Stones just too nonchalant in the end. Moder forcing the turnover, getting the return pass from Milik, who gets the assist, and then it's a really nice finish from Moder. He had plenty of time to think about it and made absolutely no mistake. The left-footed strike with power and accuracy. Stones apologizing. 1-1 the score at Wembley. And it's all level. And this game has all of a sudden gotten very interesting. And at halftime, it seemed like a game that England were perhaps going to run away with. That's far from the case now. And what an interesting development in London. Just the second shot on target this entire game for Poland. And, I told you right when he came on after halftime, Milik is the type of guy who can really positively impact a team and be an impact sub. That's exactly what he's proved to be. The assist there on the Moder goal. And he's provided a real spark on the attack for Poland. It's a clean challenge that from Jóźwiak, and it will be a Poland throw-in as we are right around the hour mark. 1-1 between England and Poland. That's out for a Poland throw. England win it back. Here is Stones. Stones out wide for Kyle Walker. Half an hour remains in London, England, and we're all level. Here's Kyle Walker. Walker with a clever touch, and the contact followed from Ribus. Free kick on the way for the hosts. Another set piece in a very promising position for England. Well, it was looking like an easy game for England, but their lack of ability to put away a second goal has come back to haunt them. And we'll see if they can get that second goal sooner rather than later. It's an in-swinger from Phillips. Headed away by Poland. Will be a throw-in for England. It'll be Walker with the throw-in. Mount back for Walker. Now Kane. Curling effort to the back post. Intended for Sterling, but Szczesny was alert. A long punt here. Maguire back to it for England. And now here they come. Mount into Sterling. Sterling into the box. Sterling to the byline. And Szczesny closes down the angle and gets a piece on that ball. A touch on that ball, I should say. It did just cross the end line, so it will be an England corner kick, it appears. It's a great job by Szczesny to come out, though, and make that stop, slowing down the run of Raheem Sterling. That pace of his can always be difficult to deal with defensively. And so here comes the corner kick. Bjorn Kopper is the Dutch referee for this one. As it appears as though the assistant referee on the near side is having some difficulties with his communication equipment, getting all that sorted out, and everything's set. He's good to go. We're ready to resume. Here comes the set piece for England. Corner kick on the way. In swinger to the near post. Sent away, but not out. Maguire drives that ball right into the stomach of the pole. I'm not sure who that is down. Mason Mount was brought down before that. Nothing was called. It was Moder who took a ball to the stomach. My goodness, he probably got the wind knocked out of him immediately. That appears to be the case. All right, let's look back at first the John Stones giveaway that led to that Poland equalizer. Yeah, it's just too nonchalant. Poland's pressure paying off. Moder with the steal, found Milik. Milik back to Moder, and a brilliant left-footed strike. The finish by Moder, and it's 1-1. Game on at Wembley Stadium. And although, for Poland, yes, they would love to come away with 3 points. 1 point wouldn't be bad either, considering the circumstances that they're playing. This England side without Robert in Poland are without Robert Lewandowski. So with all things considered, a draw would, feel like a loss for England and a win for Poland. At least that's how I view it. A reminder, the Bundesliga returns with a bang this weekend, Saturday, 12:30 Eastern Time. It's RB Leipzig against Bayern Munich. It's the top 2 teams in Germany facing off with huge title implications on the line. If Bayern come away with the victory, surely there's no turning back for them. They'd then go 7 points clear of Leipzig. If Leipzig get the victory, they'd only be 1 back of Bayern, and the title race would definitely be on in the final weeks of the season. So it's very interesting how it's all panning out. Heading into the final stretch of the Bundesliga season and all the domestic seasons in Europe. About 8 weeks remain. This is the last international break. This is the final stretch of the season. This is played ahead by Rebus. First cross is blocked. Zielinski now gets one in. It's headed to a dangerous spot and redirected just wide by Milik, who tried to steer it on frame. Yeah, England having a difficult time dealing with this Poland attacking threat, which was nowhere to be seen in the opening half of play. And it looks like Kane is called for the foul. Free kick on the way for Poland. "67 minutes in, 1-1 between England and Poland. About 3/4 of this match done. Still plenty of time left as that was played back to Szczesny, and Kane takes him out. Foul is called. Rebus will take this Poland throw-in. You can tell the urgency starting to pick up in the second half because all of a sudden England have realized, oh, shoot, this is not going to be a cakewalk. We're in a tie game. And Poland have realized, hey, we've got a chance to possibly get 3 points out of this. That's played into Piontek. The touch got away, and it's poked away by England. Harry Kane with a nice header forward. Oh, great ball. Phil Foden's in. Foden to reclaim the lead. No, the save made. Not quite the strike Foden was seeking as Szczesny got down quick to make the stop. Here's Kane as England try to reclaim the lead. This is Foden. Foden into the middle. He finds Declan Rice. Now Chilwell to Mount. Wide with Raheem Sterling. Here's Mason Mount. A strike that's blocked and headed away by Poland. It will be an England throw-in. Here's Ben Chilwell. Juziak. Zielinski. Poland are the ones with the momentum, scoring this goal in the second half. It's one back by England in the middle. 20 minutes to play. 1-1 in match day 3 of the UEFA World Cup qualifiers in Group I. Here is Harry Kane. That's one back by Berashinsky. That pass right to Foden, though. Foden to Sterling. Now Kane will chase it down. Saves it at the byline. England very patient in the build-up play, as they've been all night. Here's Calvin Phillips. Phillips thought about the shot, instead gives it up to Kyle Walker. Walker into the box. Finds Sterling. Sterling in tight space, could not keep it. And now it's Krychowiak for Poland. Moder. Over to Glick, the captain of this Polish side. As Lewandowski is out injured, but Poland, considering they're without him, faring quite well against the favorites for the Euros this summer, England. Kane finds Foden. Now it's Kyle Walker. John Stones to Harry Maguire. Man City to Man United. Maguire out wide for Sterling. 1-2 here. Maguire couldn't return it to Sterling. And now on the ball for Poland is Piątek. Quick throw in taken. Here's Walker. And Phillips is dispossessed. England tracking back. Oh, nice recovery. Harry Kane with a steal. And now Kane leading the way for England on the attack. Kane holds up. Now lays it back for Kyle Walker. Here's Foden. Foden still going. Tripping at the edge of the box. And a foul will be called against Glick. And what a chance this is from just outside of the 18-yard box. Foden was doing everything he could to keep his balance, but just couldn't stay upright in the end. Did draw the contact. And quite the opportunity here from the set piece. Poland with a number of players on the wall. Looks like they have 6 on the wall. Foden a deep breath. Phillips also standing over the ball on the set piece. No Harry Kane. Here we go. It's Phil Foden driven right into the wall. Chilwell back out wide for Foden. Foden loses his footing, and it's picked up by Moder, the goal scorer for Poland. Played ahead by Rebus. He thought he was fouled. Nothing called. England back with it with no fans in such a vast stadium like Wembley. You can hear everything that's being said pitch side. You can hear a bunch of shouts from the players. Poland thought a free kick should have been awarded. Nothing called, though. Foden to Walker. Now back with John Stones. Here's Maguire. 15 minutes to play. And a good one from Wembley Stadium. We're all level at 1 apiece. Kane had his shirt tugged at. There'll be a free kick on the way. And here comes Poland's third change of the night. England have yet to make a substitution, interestingly enough. And coming off will be Krzysztof Piątek. He'll be replaced by, let me try to pronounce this properly, Augustiniak. Augustiniak, there we go. So Augustiniak comes in. It's actually his very first international appearance. Very interesting change made as this ball floated in. Was kept in play by Maguire, but the header lands right into the hands of Szczesny. Poland certainly continuing to ride the momentum of that equalizer earlier on in the half. Here's Phillips. Two against one. It's one back by Poland. Now it's Krakowiak. Back with Szczesny. 78th minute. Will anything give in these final 12 minutes of play? Or will both teams come away with a point? England will need to win to remain perfect through their opening 3 games in these World Cup qualifiers. Poland, on the other hand, trying to remain unbeaten. 1 win, 1 draw in their opening 2 games. Kane to Foden. Out wide with Sterling. Sterling into the box. And that cross by Mount cut out. Last-ditch defending there. Nicely done by Kamil Glick. But it will be another England corner kick to come. Mount probably could have done better with that cross. It was certainly a promising opportunity for the home side. And so here comes that set piece. Calvin Phillips with the right-footed in-swinging ball in. Szczesny got a hand to it and was taken out in the process. Free kick awarded to Poland. Player down for England, and that is John Stones. Szczesny with a slight bump from Maguire. Certainly sold it to the officials. 10 minutes to go. And that's last off of Poland, they rule. Or rather, England, they rule. So Poland throwing on the way. England clearly thought otherwise. On the ball here is Zielinski. Zielinski finds Augustiniak. And they ran out of room on that far side. Well, folks, UEFA Euro 2020 is coming this summer. It'll be here before you know it. The tournament beginning June 11th. I cannot wait. Hopefully, I'm just as excited as you guys are. That's gonna be awesome. I am super pumped for the Euros this summer, especially having to wait an extra year after it was postponed from last year to this year. They're still sticking with the Euro 2020 name, even though the tournament will take place in 2021. But I can't wait. I'll certainly be on the call for a number of games. Fortunately, for like the entire group stage, I'll still be in school, which will be annoying, but I'll make do. We'll see how it all pans out. But by the time we get to the knockout stages, I'll be out of school. And of course, that's the most important part of the competition. Here come Poland. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, it's quite strange having World Cup qualifiers take place before the Euros do, or at least World Cup qualifiers get underway before the Euros. It's not something we're accustomed to. Usually the Euros and World Cup 2 years apart, but this time just 1 year apart after the Euros were delayed a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Rebus back to Szczesny. Play to midfield. 82 minutes in. Here now is Augustiniak. Header won by Maguire, and that's played all the way back to Nick Pope, the England keeper. No Lewandowski for Poland, yet they are on course to pick up a point away against England at Wembley. Rice gets it back from Walker. Final day of the international break. An international break that began when did it begin? Last Thursday. No, last Wednesday. Yep, Wednesday, Thursday of last week was match day 1. Saturday, Sunday, match day 2. And then yesterday and today, match day 3 of the UEFA World Cup qualifiers. Here's Mount Second chance. That strike blocked in the end. Getting in the way of it was Yuzviak. Another corner kick for England. They've had a number of them. A lot of shots blocked as well. Give credit to Poland defensively. They've done a solid job on the night, but they can't take their mind off the task at this point. This time, standing over the set piece is Phil Foden. Foden with an outswinging left-footed delivery. This is driven to the back post, headed to a dangerous area, and what a strike! It's Harry Maguire who's put England back on top. It's a goal that may very well secure England the 3 points and maintain their perfect record through the opening 3 matches of World Cup qualifying. Harry Maguire absolutely roofing it. Great delivery by Foden and John Stones to make up for his mistake with a great header at the back post, putting it on a platter for Maguire, and just a laser into the roof of the net. Too powerful for Szczesny to keep out. And it's the center back, Harry Maguire, on the half volley that puts England back in the lead. And what a big goal that is for the home side, and what a gut punch it is for Poland, who thought they were on the verge of coming away with something. But now they very well could come away with no points at all. 2-1 England. Stones the assist and Maguire the strike, as England are set to make a substitution here. This is their first of the game, actually. And we will see Reece James of Chelsea replace Phil Foden. So James comes on for England with about 4 minutes plus stoppage time to play. And so we are back underway. Poland now got to go for it, trailing 2-1 with 4 minutes plus to play, as Zielinski also came off for Poland. He's been replaced by Zielinski. And Recha has replaced Ribus. So it was a double change from Poland. Brozinski, by the way, came in for Zielinski. My apologies. I'll double check that. Yep, it was Brozinski. Here's Moder. He scored the lone goal for Poland. Oh, that was put into a dangerous area, sent away. It was Grosicki who came on. Sorry, I'm getting my players mixed up here. So it was Grosicki who replaced Zielinski. Grosicki nearly on the end of that cross, trying to make an immediate impact off the bench. What a strike from Maguire going back to his goal. And that could very well be the game-winning goal for England. You can tell what it meant to him and the rest of England. Dominic Calvert-Lewin of Everton will now come on for England. So now Gareth Southgate utilizing his substitutions. Harry Kane will come out. He didn't get a goal. Rather, he did get a goal. He did get the penalty kick. Oh, my. And Calvert-Lewin is his replacement. So Kane will be happy with that performance. You know, he's last couple of seasons now, he's been, on and off with injuries. When he's healthy, he's absolutely spectacular. But it's just a matter of whether or not he can stay on the pitch. And good to see him playing with the national team, as Raheem Sterling will now make way for Jesse Lingard. Lingard now on West Ham, of course. Doing quite well with them, actually. So Lingard comes on. Five substitutions are permitted, but England only go with 3 because you can only make those 5 substitutions at 3 different stoppages. And they made one substitution on 3 different occasions, so that's it for England. As we are half a minute away from second half stoppage time. Poland not done yet, though. Oh, that pass is a heavy one. Too far for Grosicki and even Recha. Goal kick for England, holding on up 2-1. Hasn't been pretty for England. We've saw some glimpses of what they can be, but not a full 90 minutes of it. That's certainly true. And so we are into stoppage time. We'll see how much time will be tacked on to the end of the 90. It's a high boot there, it appeared. Nothing called. England retain possession. There are 4 minutes added on here in the second half, so still some time to play. Here's Jesse Lingard taking it towards the corner flag. Lingard shielding the ball and wisely playing it off of Jóźwiak to win the corner. And England will be in no particular hurry to take that corner kick. And by the way the first half played out, it appeared as though England were going to dominate the whole game, but that's been far from the case. You can argue Poland have had the better of the chances in the second half, which I found very surprising. I thought we'd see more of the same in the second half, but it looks like England might just well claw it out. That is out for a corner. Another one. And how about a throw-in now? Poland just can't get possession of the ball. We're already about halfway through the allotted stoppage time. Here's Calvert-Lewin and Lingard in the corner. Calvert-Lewin offsides, and finally Poland will get it back. Szczesny running up to take it, and Hungary are leading Andorra right now, and that game's just about to go final. So Hungary will jump ahead of Poland in the table. They'll go to 7 points, Hungary, so Poland will drop to 3rd. Remember, first place in each group automatically goes to the World Cup. Second place has to play in the playoff. Foul called at midfield. Krychowiak quickly takes it for Poland. He'll clip it ahead. Headed by Harry Maguire. England win it right back. 90 seconds to play now. Here's Reece James. Into Rice, who went down. It's stolen cleanly by Poland. Looking to get around Walker. Was Grosicki, but he could not do so. Walker just too strong in the end. Poland back with it, though. Here's Bednarek. Now it's at the feet of Jóźwiak. Bereshevsky down the line. It will be a throw-in as Chilwell goes down in a heap. It's a quick throw-in taken, but the referee will not allow it, as Chilwell is clearly in quite some discomfort with about 45 seconds to play. Yeah, it looked like he landed a bit awkwardly. Chilwell's had a solid game tonight. The left back for Chelsea. He will be able to continue. No medical attention required. We'll probably have a little more than 4 now added on, as Poland will have a throw-in. It'll be a long throw-in coming. And here it is from Rachel. Oh, it landed right to Augustiniak, but he skied it over the bar. And that's probably Poland's last chance. Just couldn't quite get his footing right, the substitute. And surely that is it. Next time, we will have World Cup qualifiers. The Euros will be done. So will Copa America, the Gold Cup, the Olympics. MLS will be 2/3 through their season. And the 2021-22 season will be just underway for the European soccer leagues. And hopefully we'll have a good amount of fans in the crowd come that time. But right now, the final whistle comes, and it's England who defeat Poland 2-1. They get the job done in the end. It was not easy, but the Lions secure the 3 points. Harry Maguire scores a fantastic goal, and it turns out to be the game-winning goal as England go 3 wins, no draws, no losses through their opening 3 World Cup qualifying games. Currently sitting on 9 points, atop of Group I. Kane got the scoring going from the penalty spot in the 19th minute. Moder certainly made it interesting in the second half for Poland, scoring in the 58th minute. But Maguire in the 85th scores the winner. That will conclude my broadcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. I am Samuel Reese signing off, saying so long. England victorious over Poland, 2-1 the final in Group I action of UEFA World Cup qualifying. The road to 2022 underway. It's been a thoroughly entertaining international break of World Cup qualifiers in Europe. So long, everybody. I'll see you next time.